the man who was convicted of assassinating Robert F. Kennedy may be getting out on parole. So Sirhan Sirhan, who is 77, met with a parole board for the 16th time on Friday. The two-person board recommended his release after being in prison for 53 years. The decision is now in California Governor Gavin Newsom's hands. So Sirhan Sirhan was convicted of shooting and killing Kennedy at a Los Angeles hotel following a campaign event in 1968. He was initially sentenced to death for the murder, but it was reduced to life in prison in 1972. Two of Kennedy's surviving sons, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and Douglas Kennedy, spoke out in favor of Sirhan's release, but several of Kennedy's other children are against it.
Yeah, 6 of them are. And I think this is...
He had 11 total, right?
11 children total, and this is an abomination that he would get out. An abomination. And I bet you our viewers who are watching remember the exact moment they were there. 1968, you had MLK get assassinated. You had RFK get assassinated in a kitchen on the floor with that busboy holding him in that beautiful shot. He was 24 at the time and changed the course of history. Robert F. Kennedy would have been president. We would have gone another way. There's no doubt about it in many American historians' minds. This to get out? For why? Because he wants to and he's been there and he's had good behavior? You assassinated a would-be president. No, life in prison, period.
Jeff?
You want me to follow period?
I was like, yeah, you had it right.
Listen, not to mention the children, being a father. I mean, 11 children lost their dad.
Yeah, he altered the course of history is exactly what he did. Imagine all the family, right, that's saddened by this. That family has been...
huge.
It's almost like cursed in some sort of way, right? So they had enough tragedy in that family. I am for the death penalty. I know I get a lot of pushback even on this panel, but I'm for this. Why? Because we wouldn't be having this conversation. He would be dead. I am an eye for an eye kind of guy when it comes to the fact that we know he shot him. We know who killed him. Not saying in a trial by like, hey, he might have been there or not, because we interview a lot of people on the show that were wrongly convicted. I'm talking about when a school shooter happens, when someone assassinates somebody like this, they should be put to death immediately. Not get out 50 years later and have a Netflix special and do a press tour of why you did this and have fans, conjugal visits, having children, and get real. This is why I'm for the death penalty.
Yeah, I mean, Jeff, look, a lot of people are going to push back on you with the death penalty, but a lot of people will not push back in terms of the fact that he should spend the rest of his life in jail. There's a cost to the decisions you make, Sam, and when you decide to alter not only the course of world history, which he absolutely did, he altered the course of 11 children that will not have their dad, that I couldn't imagine how many missed Thanksgivings, how many missed proms, how many you putting the tie on your son. I still have the picture of my dad putting my tie on me for my wedding. You know, those things will not happen now, and there has to be a price to pay for this. Is he sorry? I'm sure. Is he sorry? Is he sorry he got caught? We'll never know, but I'd like to figure it out while he's in jail, not when he's out.
What I don't understand is if the judge gave him life in prison, why is that overturned now?
Well, there's certain rules for how long he's been in prison for and what age you were put in prison. So he's put in prison at 24, and you always have to see a parole board. He's seen them 16 times, and for this time, they said he's not a threat to society. Therefore, he could be paroled. He's not paroled yet. We're waiting to hear, but this is on the table for me is even too much.
Wow. Yeah, so he gets his life back, but the children's father never gets their life back.
He could have another 15, 20 years.
Wow.